Okay, y'all, so listen. So we finna be talking about the zodiac sign of Aries, right? But we finna be talking about the sun from sidereal Vedic Aries. So you gotta remember, it's not the tropical astrology I'm doing. This is sidereal Vedic Aries, right? This is for the month of May 2025, right? So now what I want you all to understand is this. Before we even get into that, listen, my books are on sale on Gumroad right now. My books are on sale on Gumroad right now. This is who I am right here, Rowan King, right? So I got the root of law, right? Let's click on it real quick. So I want you all to understand. Listen, these books gonna really help you really understand what's going on with you for real, for real. And if you use these books to your advantage, man, listen, it can really, really, really help you out. So now, listen, this is my root of law, right? What is this? This is really about how you look to the actual world, right? And I will make a video about this too. It's about like what energies are people getting from you, right? So listen, this whole birth chart here is about the perception of you know how they say in tropical astrology, the ascendant is your mask. Well, no, that's not what this one is about. What this one is strictly saying is that this certain specific chart, this represents your actual mask, right? And we all know that the world works on perception, right? So it will behoove you to get this book, and next thing you know, listen, learn how to work with the energy people already perceive you as, so you can make you some money, you can get to certain positions. You see what I'm saying? People already view you as one way. Maybe you might want to play into that. It can help you, or it can put some detriment into your life as well, right? Because people could have preconceived notions about who you are. And then I got this other book over here. Oh look, my computer going slow. Enter the Darkness of Hope. Now this gonna be some y'all are really, really like. This one, the planetary transits. Yeah, this be some y'all are really, really like. I don't know why my Lilith book ain't up here. My Lilith book is supposed to be up here. I don't know why the hell my Lilith book is not up here. Right, I do have a Lilith book as well, right? So this one right here is a good 27 page one. And listen, you can come over and read all the stuff or whatever. And listen, the links to all my books will be in the actual description and comment section. But let's go ahead and get off with that, right? And so, in the if you all want a birth chart reads. Now, listen, it's my page, Inferno Rex. I want everybody to understand that. So, listen. So let's go side by side again. I did this in a couple of my videos. My prices, they're all right there. See that? Prices are all right there. I got review after review after review after. You can keep going. It's at least about maybe like 50 or 80 reviews on here. But I have like 200 reviews myself, honestly. Let's keep going on and on and on. So now, and make sure you come to this page up here, Inferno Rex, the Flaming Angels Astrology, right? So now, and remember, DM me on any of my YouTube platform. I mean, any of my platforms, and follow me right here too. Up right here, over here up on TikTok, Revelation Kain. Yeah, make sure y'all come follow me up over there too. This my computer going all slow. Lord have mercy. I'm leaving. Listen, I'm gonna just leave it in the actual description box. Y'all can see it, cause I don't be having time for stuff to be going all slow. When you trying to show folks stuff, maybe because I got all these tabs open. But so now listen, what I want you all to understand is this. So now we're gonna be talking about the sun and Aries, right? So now this is the thing. Sidereal astrology is based off of the actual, my perception of where the constant of where the planets are aligned with the backdrop of the constellation, right? You see what I'm saying? So tropical astrology is about this invisible solstice and equinox, these invisible anchor points that just so happen to have the exact names of the actual star and zodiac constellations. However, what I do with transits, I do the Vedic sidereal. Sidereal is stellar. Stellar is what? Star based. I always understand that, right? So now, when I do the astrology, I'm doing transits from the actual mathematical, to map boxing of the actual planets in the physical constellations. That's what I'm doing. So now, so as of right now, the sun is in Aries, but it's going to be leaving out of Aries. I believe somewhere around like May 14th. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that. So now, this is a transit chart. I just put it for Houston, Texas, or whatever, because I want you all to see. So now, look, you see where it says January. So this person was going January 1st, whatever, but that's not the point. So May 14th, right? See that? May 14th, 2025. Look at this sun, right? Look at the sun. You see that it says 0 degrees and 3 minutes Taurus. 0 degrees and 3 minutes Taurus, right? So on May 14th, so look at this. I want to show y'all this. So let's go up. Let's go back out. Watch the sun gonna still be where? Hold up. Let's go back. Let's go to. That's at 2 p.m. Let's go to 1 p.m. Let's see where that sun gonna be at. Because the sun leaves out. Okay, is it 1 degree Taurus? Okay, matter of fact, let's go back another. Let's go back one more. Shoot, no, that's probably gonna be 0 degrees. So let's go back two more. Right there, everybody. Let's go back 11 a.m. 11:57. That on May 5th, on May 14th. Look, boom, the sun's still in Aries. So listen, so as you all can see, the sun leaves out of Aries physically, right? On May the actual 14th, right? So between uh, um 12 and 1 o'clock, that's when it started to leave out. So now we get it underway. So now look at so now what we all have to understand when we're looking at, how planets can affect certain zodiac signs. A lot of people do it in a very general way, and I understand. But the thing about it is, certain planets. Certain houses and certain ascendants. That shit really matters a lot, right? Because let's say, for instance, you're a Virgo ascendant. The sun right now is transiting in your actual eighth house, right? Eighth house rules what? Crisis events, life and death events. You know what I'm talking about? Up and down things, right? Sudden events, right? Sudden resources coming in, right? See what I'm talking about? Or sudden resources disappearing, right? Getting into it with your spouses or your partner's family for the whole damn month, right? These are some things that can actually occur, right? Depending on, and I'm gonna show y'all what it depends on. You see right here where it say so let's just imagine this is the eighth house, right? Wait, no, it is the eighth house. This is the Virgo descendant, right? So look at this shit. This is the actual eighth house, right? So look, the sun is right here, right? But where is Mars? Mars is right. It's debilitator. It's right there inside of Cancer, right? So check this out. But they Mars in the 11th house of what? Friends and network circles. So what could possibly be happening with them, right? They could either probably be trying to start a business with friends, right? Or they probably might put too much focus and nurturing into their friend group, or they might start to get into it with their colleagues and the people that they socialize with, right? Maybe even a little bit of the mother, right? You see how there is a lot of things that can go on, but this right here will specifically happen for a Virgo ascendant, right? If I'm just uh, um, telling y'all from this perspective. Now, however, but what if the ascendant changed, right? So now, what if the ascendant was Leo, right? That Mars would be in the 12th house, and this Aries would be in the ninth house, right? So what would I say then, right? I'd say, okay, well, maybe this person might be thinking about taking, a trip to a foreign land. You see what I'm saying? Maybe this person's starting to think about delving more deeper into their actual subconscious workings, right? Because remember, Aries energy does represent the actual self and the identity of who you actually are, right? Now, a lot of people, oh, these opinions. Let me tell you how you understand this. So now, the original physical zodiac starts with Aries as the first zodiac sign, and it ends with Pisces as the last zodiac sign, right? So now, when we look at it from the house system aspect, right? Aries traditionally rules over what? The actual first house. Aries rules over what? The actual first house, right? So now, the signs in the houses are two different things, but they do, carry a strong similarity in regards to energy, right? So wherever Aries is in the chart, that's where the individuality will always go, right? See what I'm saying? Now, what I want you to understand is this. Now, depending on what ascendant you are, because every ascendant Aries is going to be in a different place, right? So wherever Aries is at in your birth chart, that's the area life is going to affect you, right? That's what I want people to know. Depending on wherever Mars is in your birth chart and wherever Mars is transiting, and that's why it's a whole lot of things that really go into it, right? It's a whole lot of shit that really go into it. But so now let's read what I got typed up for everybody, right? So now Sun Aries, right? April 14th through May 14th, right? Vedic. So now the sun equals the soul, but it's going into Aries, right? Aries rules what? The initiation aspect, right? It's that spark of fire. That spark. When you got a lighter, you trying to light some shit up and it go flicker. So Aries is like that flickering type of flame, right? It's trying to start the process, like when you turn your stove on. Remember, well, gas stoves. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So now the whole thing is really go get yours or get left, right? Because that's what Aries is all about, right? So now the good side of this. So now the thing about it is, if you are really tapped into the actual fire of Aries, you got to understand, you are going to be having that dynamic energy in regards to, like, okay, maybe I need to get this done, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, because remember, Aries energy is what? It's a very action prone energy, right? That's why the Mars is ruled Aries where it's exalted in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of karma. You know what I'm saying? But this is the Saturnian sign Capricorn, about, like getting physically building things that can actually last long term, right? So now let's think about it. So people with Aries suns, depending on how strong the Mars is and how strong the overall chart is. I know y'all heard a lot of people say it's they always about the overall chart. Y'all, they not playing. Because you can have a bad Aries place, but what if you got a good eighth house, a good second house, a good 11th house coming to save your ass, right? Real talk, right? And so it's a lot of things you have to consider, right? So I want everybody to understand this too. Reading the birth chart is not you just being a psychic person, right? We have a whole systematic process and way to use it, right? You see what I'm saying? Kind of like a rubric. And then we have to intuitively guide ourselves in order to create these images of these scenarios and situations in our mind and then tell you, okay, hey, this is what's going to happen. Real talk. The chart is not going to lie. The thing about it is, how good is the practitioner? That's why a person could probably think astrology is not real. Because what if you keep getting bullshit practitioners? Now you're gonna think, man, this astrology shit is completely fake. I don't want to deal with it. I don't care about it. This shit don't really make no actual sense, right? And that's what I want to really hone in on people. When you get these birth chart readings, the thing about it is, most people aren't really deep people themselves, right? The thing about it is, so you can talk real deep. You can talk about aliens. You can talk about chakras. You can talk about meditation. You can talk about all this shit. But the thing about it is, how deep are you when it goes to researching these occult subjects and actually learning how to practically apply these things that you've learned to real life situations, right? Because nobody want to go to nobody and get a birth chart read and you hear, oh, you an Aries, I know you're gonna be aggressive. Although that may be true in some regard, right? But the thing about it is, basic things can still be correct too. I don't want. I want y'all to know that shit. It can still be true, but people aren't really looking to hear that. They want to look. Okay, what's more significant about me in my actual life? So the thing about it is, if you can your birth chart read from a person that's not really deep in anything else, but they really love astrology, the energy that they gonna exude is like they know a lot. But then when it comes time to get a reading, you're gonna feel like, man, that was trash, right? And then once you have seen that and you go to another person did the same thing, you're gonna think my astrology is bullshit. But that's why I got plenty of reviews, right? Because a lot of people just do it from a personality, astrological understanding. I'm like, man, astrology is way much more than personality, it's way much more than, oh, I act like this. No. What about health? What about family? What about friends? What about money? What about real life situation that you need to go to or you need to avoid, right? This is the true essence of astrology. What about past life karma? What about understanding why you're actually born in the first place and what you have to do to complete this shit to make sure that you ascend to the next level, right? So that's what astrology really is actually truly about, right? It's making your life better. Astrology is actually about making your life better. It's not about destroying it, right? Unless you get too crazy and think everything is just you know how some people can get over fanatical about some shit and just really go crazy. And I use astrology in my everyday life, but I'm not over crazy about it though. But I use it every day, and I stick with this to the T. But I'm not just going crazy about it. And I think that kind of throw a lot of people off too. Like, oh my God, they with all this astrology, so they need to calm down. All this shit don't even be right. Yeah. So if you get in your birth chart readings or tarot readings or any type of reading in general, right, from a person that's not really truly deep, the thing about it is confidence can overshadow intellect a lot of time, right? And what do I mean by that? A person could talk like they really have it all figured out, and then that's going to attract people, right? Because dominance and what's meant leadership, what's meant assertiveness naturally draws people in, right? It's like a hierarchical energetic frequency or something. You see somebody acting strong or talking big and making these giant promises. Same thing with politics. It tend to attract a big enough crowd for people to say, you know what, I'm finna roll with that and stick with that. The whole time you find out, man, this ain't what I really thought it was. So that's why a lot of people feel like, oh, I got cheated on my birth chart from other basic readers. Now astrology is fake. The astrologer I went to just told me, "Oh, I'm a Capricorn. That mean I don't like people. That mean I'm moody and I'm pessimistic." Some of those things could be true about you, but some of those things could be true about everybody else, right? And that's why a lot of people feel like, well, astrology can apply to anybody. Yes, it can because everybody has a birth chart, and just because anything can happen to anybody, look in reality. Does anything happen to everybody? No, it doesn't, right? I just want to put that out there because I got a video I'm making real soon about people because I got a good reputation for all the people who really want to go against astrology. So now let's go back to the actual meat of the actual topic, right? So now the thing about it is, so from right now until the end of uh as y'all can see May 14th, Listen, so the thing about it is this main character syndrome, right? So the thing about it is, so now when this transit comes, right, you got to remember it's gonna turn the light all the way on, right? Why? Because it's about individuality, right? So the thing about it is, you finally see yourself without the fog or the actual fear, right? Doubt or apology, right? So your aura moves like a royal with a mission. Understand that, right? The sun, which rules Leo, is exalted here. So now, even if people don't like it, they feel it, right? So now the thing about it is, when you walk in the room, the energy, when you walk in the room and shift the frequency without saying a word, you're not taking validation. You are the source now, right? So spiritual code. So in Vedic astrology, the soul is called Atma, right? But the thing about it is, Aries is kind of like that I am energy, so that's why people be feeling like, man, I know who I am. They trying, so a lot of people might be trying to come closer to understanding who they are from an identity standpoint, from a more deeper spiritual spectrum, right? Depending on Mars, your Mars in the 12th house, more of a subconscious spiritual layer, right? Your Mars in the second house. You trying to figure out who you are from the financial aspect, taking care of the family aspect, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's just so many ways to look at it, like real talk. So now thing about it is too, so so execution mode activated, right? All this I'm gonna think about it, shit, that shit gonna go out the window. Now people gonna really start trying to like really lay stuff down. Even I've been more active, right? Because my fifth house in Vedic astrology, I'm a Sagittarius ascendant, right? So my fifth house is shit, Aries, right? My fifth house education is fully activated, right? So the thing about it is, so now this ain't the time to daydream, right? Aries is cardinal fire, right? Meaning what fire that has this transition, right? You see what I'm saying? So now, like the first yeah, I mean it's just the first, right? That's why the cardinal signs mean the first of the season, right? You see what I'm saying? So now the thing about it is this, um, you might get some vision, right? Then your ass might start getting the moving, right? So the thing about it is, all the waiting for approval, let that shit go out the window, right? So the thing about it is, bold offers, starting businesses, and leaving toxic circles and environments, whether it's family, friends, whatever, right? Thing about it is, you probably might want to start to get away from what really is draining you, right? Because remember, Aries is still about the individual self, right? So now, for those of y'all who know Vedic, y'all probably know what this is. I ain't gonna read it right now because a lot of people don't know. I'm sure trying to get them introduced. Wait, no, I read it. So the Ashwini Aries, right? That's the horse twins, right? So the thing about it is what divine healing via quick action. So now, fast action isn't reckless. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it really is how divine time moves, right? Sometimes shit come right through in the nick of time. Sometimes it really do, right? Now, burning off the fake layers. So now what it means, right? So now the solar fire burns everything that's not you. Fake personas, worn out jobs, dead friendships, they either align or disintegrate. You see what I'm saying? So now, the thing about it is, you'll lose taste for small talk. You don't pretend to be soft when you're sharp. You stop showing up when you're not respected, right? I mean, where you're not respected, right? Because you got to remember the sun is in Aries right now, so now people gonna start to be a little bit more selfish, right? So the thing about it is that there could be clashing, fights, battles, all type of shit, right? That's what Aries actually is, right? This is the perfect month to be getting into it and acting. This is the month, right? War. That's where Aries is, right? It's a confrontational energy, right? So now spiritual resurrection, right? So now what it means, so now this is the restart point of your personal zodiac wheel, right? Because it's only every season once every year, right? You see what I'm saying? Whether you look from the tropical or the Vedic astrological perspective, right? So now that's the thing. What I want you all to understand. So now the thing about it is, y'all might start to upgrade shit, name, wardrobe, your habits. You see what I'm talking about? Having that rebirth energy, right? Because wow, if you're on the northern hemisphere, what that's supposed to be what the springtime aspect. You see what I'm saying? So now shit, excuse me. So now, the masculine, sacred masculine energy restore, right? What it means. It's not the alpha male nonsense. This is about divine assertion, right? Your ability to command your own path without fear, because Aries is the warrior. They go out and fight shit, take over stuff. They do what everybody might be afraid to do. Real talk, right? So the thing about it is saying no without guilt, right? Taking control of your finances, stepping into the actual protective provider mode without ego or with purpose. Real shit. I'm telling y'all. But now let's talk about the shadow side, right? So now the I run this syndrome. So now when the sun is too hot in Aries, right, the ego can get really fucked up. Honestly, you might not want to listen. You might want to start dominating people. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it, right? So you might start making orders, picking fights. overcompensating, being loud, being powerful. Because the thing about it is, when the sun goes into Aries, especially wherever it's at in your chart, that shit can really amp shit up. It can really amp shit up for real. Because you got to remember, but like my son's Aries, but my Mars is in the sixth house of conflict, right? So this is time where I'll be turning up. You see what I'm saying? Or somebody else with the same alignment. Depending on wherever that Mars is at. That's you see what I'm saying? So the more we understand this, the more we can tame it. Real talk, right? So now the exalted planets can be dangerous when they're mature, right? So now this is ego in its final boss form. You understand that? So now the rush decision, regret later, right? So now Aries does want everything now. But if you move without discernment, you're gonna crash and your ass gonna burn, right? You see what I'm saying? Because impatience can create false starts, meaning that, I thought that was the right time to do that shit. Now you done paid swiftly and severe. You understand that? So, and this is for anything going on, especially when you're starting projects, businesses, whatever right now, man. Listen, that's what I want y'all to know, right? Burned out. Y'all can experience burned out, right? It's a lot of things that's gonna be happening going on right now. Like I said, but so because we don't even really need to read the rest of it. The thing about it, I want y'all to understand this. Let's talk about some ascendants that could probably see the worst of this. So now, let's look at it. So now, Virgo ascendants, y'all might be feeling this shit heavy too. Y'all got Sun and Mercury conjunct. Yep. It might be some. Yeah. So if the Sun is conjunct Mercury, guess what that means, right? Oh look, let me make sure this on the right date. That's gonna be on May 14th. Conjunct Mercury. A matter of fact, let's see. Let's see for right now. Oh, you know what? Yeah, man. Cause shit, this is for me. I'm slipping. Now what? So Mercury is conjunct Sun. Yeah, somebody can be getting cussed out. That shit for sure. Somebody could definitely be getting cussed out because Mercury is conjunct the Sun. So Mercury is speech, it's communication, and it's with the Sun. That's the brightest object, and it's in Aries, and that's what the sign of what are so Aries is already a very conflicting energy. You understand that? It's already a warrior prone energy. So you see this right here. So that Sun and that Mercury is conjunct each other. What that's gonna make? People gonna be getting into intense arguments, a whole bunch of shit, right? Because this is the time of war. You see what I'm saying? This is the time of but it's not just a time of war, it's time of creation, starting shit new, like we already discussed. But yeah, that's the primary thing. So Virgo ascendant, y'all can definitely feel that shit a lot, right? Who else can feel it? Who else can feel it yet? Scorpio ascendants, right? Because look, you make Scorpio the first house, right? So how far is Aries away from Scorpio? So you always count this one as one and the second one is two, right? So one, two, three, four, five, six. Aries in the sixth house. Yep, health issues could occur. Issues with the probably get into it with a father figure, right? Depending on where Mars is at, you know what I'm talking about, but Mars debilitated, it's in Cancer, right? Then we gotta look at your birth chart to see a more, you know what I'm talking about, nuanced aspect of it. It's a lot of shit to go into it, right? So Virgo ascendant, Scorpio ascendant, who else? I'm trying to see, let me see, cause that, yeah, mainly it's gonna be them though. It's just mainly gonna be them. Also, Libra ascendants too, y'all might get into it. Because remember, Libra is what? The first house, and directly opposite is Aries, right? Telling y'all, man, listen. Telling y'all, man, listen. And for those y'all who got government jobs and shit, that's cancer ascendants and shit, just be a little cool, right? Because y'all might end up want to cuss your manager out, or your manager and your bosses might start to get a little bit more aggressive around this time, right? There's so many ways to look at it, right? And I want you all to understand that when you read a birth chart, I think a lot of y'all think this shit's supposed to be just a psychic. Oh no, you have to really understand what you're looking at. So even if somebody gets something wrong in the birth chart, does that mean astrology is fake or it's wrong? No, the birth chart might be completely correct, but the thing about it is deciphering it. That's where the issue occurs, right? Because you got to remember we're still humans, right? We're still flawed. We still can make mistakes, right, or overlook certain things, right? You might get a reader that's strictly focusing on just these two planets. Are they wrong? No. But they might be missing out on more information if they don't look with Mars at and see what's aspecting Mars, this, that, and third. So it's a lot of stuff to go into reading the chart. It's not no just okay, this gonna happen, this gonna happen. No, a person gotta really sit down there and map your shit out and really figure out what is going on with you in order to be able to give you an accurate getting assessment, right? So yes, but that's really what y'all got to be looking out for with Capricorn ascendants. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all might have some a little bit issue. You know, you could be having some issues with the car. Capricorn ascendants could be having some issues with the actual car. Real talk. It's just a lot of stuff that you can look at. That's what I'm saying. It's so much stuff to go into a birth chart reading than what people be talking about or how they show. But yes, I just wanted to go, once we make this little video for y'all so y'all can understand what's going on. And y'all see it will be leaving out on May 14th. So make the best of this opportunity. So these are my key points to do. Try to figure out how you can make you some money. Try to start understanding yourself more from a deeper perspective and aspect, right? Not only that, watch out for being extremely temper prone. Watch out for being extremely selfish, right? And watch out for violent things, right? Real talk. And then y'all fathers, watch out for getting into it with y'all daddies too. Because the Sun conjunct Mercury, Aries, y'all might get into some disputes then. Real talk. But other than that, you listen, y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And I will holler at y'all when y'all hit me up for y'all read.